Hey guys, Justin with Ready Business Systems here. Just continuing on our video 6 of the transition from Service Autopilot to Copilot CRM. We left off on the last video and we were discussing these packages, getting those scheduled. We were running into some issues there. And then we were also going to cover estimating, the estimating system in Copilot and investigate that a little bit. So Parker sent me a video back. He's been pretty good, been there, been helpful. Like I said, it's been taking about a day to get a response. So that's to be expected, but as long as the support's there, we're getting this stuff fixed, we can find workarounds, I'm okay with that. So what Parker explained to me, but I still don't have an answer to that, so I'm going to have to get back to you, is that these multi-step programs, so in the settings here, so this is essentially the packages. We said the packages in Service Autopilot, it's similar to that. And he said in these settings, we put in days from previous steps. So right here it says 30. So what he's telling me is that whenever you schedule this for the client, it's going to be based off of that. So you're not going to be able to specify, well, you can specify the start date, and it's supposed to be based on the last visit with that client. So I just sent a video to him clarifying that, because if we go to multi-step programs here, and I will show you the exact problem I was running into, because I'm going to delete this. Delete, yes. I'm going to do it from scratch again. So again, we're going to try to schedule this fertilizing package that we built out here, package or multi-step program as they call it. So we're going to add fertilizing program, right? We're going to go to Shartner here and then start date. So if we look back at our package here for reference, we start this first application on April 1st. So we don't want to put November 6th. Let's put the start date in November 1st, April 1st. So what he's telling me is that you put the date in here, and then the packages would automatically schedule themselves out based on the days between applications. So 4/1/2023. Try putting 01 in case this is what caused the problem I was running into. So now I'm going to do create program. So that's what he explained to me, but then I went and redid it myself, and it's still showing it as December 6, 2023, which there's two problems here. One is that even if it's based on a 30 days between applications, this client has never had this done before. So I would think that this would be scheduled to be done today. But also, like, I put in a start date of April 1st. So why is it ignoring, it basically seems to be ignoring that date I put in and just putting it in for a month, 30 days from the date I schedule it, which again, I would think if it did that, and it was going to ignore the date, it would be in for the date that I added the package, not a month out, because they've never had it done before. So I sent Parker another Lumo about that to figure out what's going on with that. My other concerns on this were, I was explaining to him, and again, I'll get back to the response, but like most companies, we put applications down in a window of time. This way we have a waiting list of jobs, and we have 30 days to get maybe 100 of these or 300 of these applications done within a time period. This way they're all on a big list. We can filter this list by these dates with all these same types of jobs, and we can schedule them how it makes sense in our route. It doesn't appear yet, unless I get another answer, they have that sort of functionality where we can have a window of time. So I asked them, how do they handle that? If we have 500 of these jobs, are they all going to be on April 1st, sitting on a job list on April 1st? And how do we manage that? So I'm waiting to hear about that, because that's a major feature, and I'm not sure how that would be handled. I'm not sure if you would have to go on April 1st and have to manually schedule these jobs up or out, or how that would be handled. So I'll get back to you on that when I hear back from Parker. So let's explore the estimates here. I went to the finances and clicked on this estimates tab, and it brought me to this window here. This is my first time looking at this, so let's see what happens. Create new estimate. Customer name, we're going to use the same example we've been using here. Shop location, cool. Estimate title, we'll call it first test estimate. Estimate 1. I did see a place in the settings where you can continue this. So if you're already on estimate 5,283, you can start this at 5,284 or what have you, so it doesn't get confusing, like a checkbook. Estimate date, okay. PO number. Let's go here first. Suggest only items, services assigned to selected property. I don't know what that does. I'm going to leave that blank. Time, estimate requested. Now, today, yesterday, other. Why would you ever do yesterday? Okay, I'm just going to leave that here, right? Time estimate requested. Why would you ever say yesterday? And what's with these times? Now is 11:06 and today is 5:55 a.m. Okay, that's weird. PO number, purchase order number. Maybe that's for like materials or something. Test PO number, just so we have something in that box. Discount, we'll leave it 0. Line items. Let's try quoting them on that fertilizing package. Excuse me. Fertilizing program. Okay, so that's the service. So how do we quote? I want to quote the package. Okay, add a package. There we go. Spring cleanup. Add package. Okay, so there's our package for that. It's kind of blending together here. Okay, location. I see. So this looks like you can quote different locations on the same proposal. Because they do that feature where they're detaching, they disassociate the client with the property. They're two separate things. So that way you can assign different properties and quote them on maybe lawn mowing on property A and lawn mowing on property B. Cool. So I think this one's still just a blank one I made here, so I'm going to delete this one. Spring cleanup. All right. So on this template here, let's check out quickly. I'm going to check out the actual package settings for this this package here. Right, so this here under items and services, we have our services and we also have our packages. But again, to kind of translate the language being used here, this spring cleanup, the one that I use, is actually, this is a quote unquote package of services, but it doesn't behave the way, so I click on here, it's giving the rates and everything, but it's not behaving like a package terminology is in Service Autopilot. So it doesn't have dates on here. It's really just, you could look at it like this is a group of services that can be estimated at the same time. So that's not actually what we want, because we want these, we're under here, under the packages, this is a group of services that can be estimated at the same time, but it doesn't have any dates associated with it. Whereas if we go to this multi-step programs, this is actually what's equivalent to these packages here, as I understand. So we actually don't have a package for the spring cleanup. So I'm going to go in here, I'm going to remove this from the estimate because this is not what we want here. We shouldn't have the spring cleanup set up this way. So let's try again. So we don't want to add a package, that's going to be packages services. So how do we add a multi-step program? I don't see a way to do that. So I guess the question here that I'm going to have to ask Parker is, can we add a multi-step program to an estimate? And it doesn't appear we can. So maybe we are going to need both a package and a multi-step program. So the package would be for writing up estimates, and then the multi-step program would be for scheduling. So I'm going to also have to review that. So I'm going to jot down those notes to ask Parker and review in the next video. So I'm just going to proceed like I did before, I guess, because I can't, there's no option here to add a multi-step program. Let's try adding that package with the spring cleanup again, right? Just for the sake of writing this up. So my other concern was with these budget hours, right? This is something else I asked Parker. So I'm not sure, because they don't have a rate matrix yet. I don't know if we're gonna have to manually enter. It sounds like we're gonna have to manually enter all these in. They do have this counter calculators here. They do have a some very basic, like these service calculators to get prices and stuff. And it's supposedly this is coming soon, right? Rate matrix right here, matrix. Pricing, somewhere in here, weaknesses, behind on job costing, pricing, reporting, and calculators. All right, so I'm going to expect that that's not going to be a possibility here. So this means that we're not going to be able to put in here the spring cleanup. Like, okay, quantity 1, budget hours. It looks like we're going to have to manually type this in here. There's no sort of calculator, except if you want to go over here. So if you were bidding this at $100 an hour, say, and this would be $350, right? So if they don't have any sort of templates or anything for this, writing up estimates is going to be pretty time consuming. So that's definitely something to consider here. It does look like there's defaults, right? We can put in the default rates here for the service. But there's no way to, there's no system here for pricing these jobs. So we'll see where we go with that. So let's try just saving this, see what it looks like. Save estimate. Okay, to see this estimate in the client portal, your client will see it, click here. Looks nice. Accept, decline. Couple of items here. Okay, we can disconnect pieces. So here's another question. On our packages, we don't want them necessarily to be able to unselect and select multiple parts on here. So I want to know, well, I guess we could just write up one service with all these items in here. So I wonder if that's an option, uncheck, because for example here, as a package in Service Autopilot, you can't uncheck certain items. You have to uncheck, you have to accept or not accept the whole thing as the whole package as a whole. So that's something to ask about here. So let's see what happens. Return, shop location. So let me check these off. Check all these off. And again, like our package is built here so that the spring cleanup, this is priced based on the square footage. This is priced based on hours. And like that obviously in this system at the way it is right now isn't going to function for us because we don't have any rates that are built in the back end of here to put out some prices. Request changes, test changes, send request. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. Let's try hitting accept. Let's see if we can sign it. You must have a card on file. Okay, that's nice. Login, payment history. So it's kind of nice they built that into their software, whereas in Service Autopilot, it's a multi-step process. You got to accept the proposal and then you got to follow up to get your card on file. And right now there's no way around that. So I do like at the moment that, I do like how they built that in, that you do have to add your card and it's presumably going to be all in one step. So I'll have to look at that again later. Decline, let's see what happens. Decline, decline. Declined by you. Okay, change request. Cool. So this is the client view. Let's see what this looks like on our end, on the back end. Cool. You can attach files to the estimates. Automations. We'll work on this later. Request changes. You can do that on our end too, on the back end. Create event. Create visit. Okay, so that's how you schedule, I assume. Create invoice from estimate. Duplicate, archive. Request change. It'd be nice if they had a template for this, wouldn't it? Send. Regular mail. That's nice. I mean, not that many people use regular mail these days for estimates, but it's not an option in Service Autopilot. Copy link. You can text it to them. Cool. Interesting. I just popped open this automation box just to see what this is about. Estimate accepted. Yes, there's other automations, which I am excited to dig into down the road. All right. I think that's a good stopping place for here. So on the next video, hopefully Parker gets back to us in some of these core features, such as multi-step programs, packages, quoting these items, budget hours. That's not critical. We could live without it, but I mean, it's going to take a lot longer to write up every other estimate, and you need another resource. There's a workaround for everything, but you could have a spreadsheet that someone would have to reference to get the prices. They type it in the box, and then it spits out the budget hours. It just, when they don't have a feature available internally, you got to create a workaround, which takes more time. It's nice when everything works, but no software is perfect. So yeah, we'll check that out. And then maybe we'll dig into on the next call, on the next video, it might make sense to dig into these calculators, maybe dig into these reports and see where that takes us. And then after that, we'll probably, I really want to check out this texting automations and stuff. Some stuff we're going to have in Marketplace. Some stuff we're not going to be able to do until I finish setting up my system, like in terms of reporting, until you actually start using the system. But we can see what we can get into prior to that. So I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching.